Man, so on the way to the desk today, I decided to stop and grab breakfast. So I get to the drive-thru to get my regular, and as luck would have it, the speaker is busted. So now I'm forced to either drive to the window and order, or do the unthinkable and go inside. So I went with the latter and said, let's order like it's $19.99. And instead of complaining about the inconvenience how I usually would do, because apparently life is too short to sweat the small stuff. So I decided to embrace it and said, well shoot, since I'm already in here, why not go full ice spice and dine in?
Cool story, sir, but can I take your order?
Oh, me? I'm the host, Sal G, and I'll take the pancake combo.
One order of hotcakes, coming right up.
Relax. But today on my first bite it hit me. This ain't the same food I came up eating. Something's either off or changed completely. And I'm not talking you grew up so now you got a mature palate type different. Nah, I mean like something has actually changed. Like scientifically, spiritually, hell, by the taste of it, possibly criminally. So now all my thoughts are unraveling. Like, hold on, wait. How did they know I'd be coming in and ordering this exact meal? Because they had to have known to get it to me in less than 2 minutes. That should have been red flag number one. I mean, cause you do know fast food didn't start as fast food in the literal sense. It started as consistent food in, well, a timely fashion. But by the taste of this right here, it most certainly ain't hitting like this how I remember it. So let's go back for a second. Some argue that fast food started with the White Castle way back in the early 1920s in Wichita, Kansas. But I can't vouch for that cause I'm not from Kansas. And again, your Uncle Sal ain't that old. But anyways, our origin of fast food was McDonald's, even though they ain't open till 1955. But the impact of their system of consistency is what stuck with us. You know, same burger, same fries, same experience every single time, no matter where we were at. And to a naive kid such as myself, it felt like they actually cared about the quality of the product, as well as the customer experience every visit. You see, coming up in the 90s to early 2000s, fast food wasn't just food, it was a choice. And to be honest, each spot was a unique experience, to say the least. Now, I do got a handful of carryout references I can make, from steak in a sack to steak and eggs up Wisconsin Avenue, which is both now closed for good, but live forever in our hearts. So for the sake of our audience, for this episode, I'm gonna focus on the national heavy hitters. You remember the red roof and the brown roof McDonald's. Then it was Burger King with the club. Shout out to Jaws for that little bit of representation we had. I also remember the yellow roof sunroom Wendy's that, believe it or not, had the best fried chicken in any fast food spots back then, in my opinion. To the Taco Bells that outside looked on theme for the brand, but inside had 90s designs right out of Saved by the Bell. Well, just a little bit more teals and purples, but a lot more belly aches. And even though we never went there as a family, I still remember those KFCs with that giant bucket of chicken lit up out front. Yeah, we were another Popeyes family. And who could forget that Pizza Hut that was an actual red top hut with tinted windows? Then walking in being greeted by actual waiters, because it did used to have a dining option. More on this later. But I still consider my era lucky, especially around my way with that hybrid KFC Taco Bell. Shout out to Livingston Square. I mean, but who could forget the greatest late night order ever? First, you gotta kick it off with the 6-piece honey barbecue wings. And of course, you gotta get the tater wedges. Yep, that's just how they look too. You get about 8 of them max in a box. And of course, for munchie purposes only, a Crunch Wrap Supreme. I mean, you just had to be there and awake at 1 a.m. to truly appreciate them all together. Now that I think about it, those combo restaurants didn't make no sense at all. But they didn't need to neither, because it provided what most spots didn't, and that was diversity. What Queen Latifah called that? That was a true unity. Also, congrats to her for the Hall of Fame induction while I'm here too. Moving on, back to food. But when I mention something changed, I'm not guessing. The proof is, well, in the pudding they now shaping in the quote-unquote chicken nuggets. Yuck. But the ingredients used to be simpler, and in a lot of cases, I can't believe I have to say this, but were actually real. Take Mickey D's fries as an example. They used to be russet potatoes cooked in beef tallow, but now it's a combination of potatoes, soybean oil, quote-unquote natural beef flavor that contains wheat and milk derivatives, dextrose, which is a form of sugar used to maintain consistent color, sodium acid pyrophosphate that's apparently used to preserve color and prevent graying, topped off with a dab of salt. What did I even just say? That sounded like my science fair project I did the night before. They clearly switched the focus from quality consistency to coin consistency. Now everything is engineered to last longer, cost less, and have the exact same taste no matter what ingredient it takes. I still don't get why they stripped all these fast food restaurants to their individuality. I mean, for instance, I could be aging myself, but Wendy's used to have something called the Super Bar, where you could order a burger or you could spend a few extra dollars and dine in and enjoy a buffet that included a random array of foods, from burritos, yeah, a buffet with burritos, to pastas, to what they called a well-dressed salad. Yes, this was an actual thing in Wendy's. Seriously. Okay, I'll say it. We used to be a proper country. Well, at least back when Dave Thomas was still around. Anywho, while I'm discussing fast food dining experiences, I'll never forgive them for what they did to my beloved Pizza Hut's dine-in. To this day, whenever I see kale, I shed a tear. Not because I dislike kale as a whole, but because growing up, I just thought it was merely inedible decorations. True fact, before hipsters discovered them in 2013, Pizza Hut was the #1 buyer of kale in the US. But not to feed people, but just for decorations around the buffet bar. Random, but true. The memories, man. I still never forget the early dismissals from school for doctor's appointments and my mom taking us there as a surprise. I mean the joy of sipping from those red cups and the art of marveling at those stained glass branded light fixtures. While I'm mentioning this, you gotta understand, in the 90s, Pizza Hut's pan pizzas was definitely a Friday night family favorite. And since it was a bunch of us, when that 21 slice, 2 square foot, Bigfoot pizza dropped, it was a no-brainer. I mean, they had it all, from the commercials to the in-store experience. You felt like you was part of an event. Now, when I see those little Pizza Hut to-go only renditions, it looks sad, almost like it's apologizing for existing. Honestly though, what was fast food back in the day without collectibles? I can remember the early 90s when McDonald's had the supersized plastic NBA cups, from the collab with Looney Tunes to the Nothing But Net series to the more sought after 1992 Dream Team cups. Well, that is until they got into fine china the following year for the live action Flintstones movie and made glassware collectible mugs. That was a game changer for me. I have to admit, I personally went back and grabbed a few off eBay, but they didn't always hit. I remember when they tried to run the glassware back in 95 with the Batman Forever movie collection. Man, those glass mugs was about as impressive as the movie. A lot of promo and action, but the story didn't quite deliver. Us kids didn't even care about the drink or the movie. We was building a collection. Today, all we get is a paper cup that starts sweating like a suspect under investigation the moment it's passed through the drive-through window. While I'm on collectibles, Burger King told McDonald's, "Oh, that's cute. You have mugs at home? We got the youth buying, trading, and collecting our watches nationwide." They kicked it off in 93 with the Nightmare Before Christmas watches, but none had an impact on me quite like the summer of 97 when they collaborated with Jurassic Park, The Lost World, more specifically this watch right here with the Dino hologram. Yep, I still got mine almost 30 years later. And just when I thought that was peak promotion, they said, what if I run it back? But this time, make the watches say phrases from the movie. Genius, right? Well, the next summer in 98, they teamed up with the Rugrats movie watches. What started as fun turned into, if I hear, "A baby's gotta do what a baby's gotta do," I might lose it. They doubled back in 2002 for the Simpsons movie with even better designs and even more clever catchphrases, all for $1.99 with the purchase of a value meal. I mean, you couldn't beat that deal. Also, honorable mention, the Star Wars Episode 3 and SpongeBob watch collabs that also dropped a bit later in the 2000s. Oh, what a time. Get it? Watch. Time. You get it. Also, while I'm here praising what they gave us, let me take a second to discuss what they took it away. Alright, McDonald's, tell me, why are we so blind to see that the ones you hurt are you and me? Rest in peace, Coolio. But why y'all take away the cinnamon melts? Like, why? Also, come on, y'all. The McSalads? I get taking away supersized fries, but talk about throwing out the baby with the bathwater. Was throwing out the salad option truly necessary? And a personal heartbreak was also the Mighty Wings, the Big and Tasty, the Arch Deluxe, the Toffee McFlurry, and shh, don't tell nobody, but I low-key missed the McRib. Not the new one, the OG one that was shaped like the rib sandwiches we got back in public school. Ugh, what was even in that stuff? But hey, I guess I was sort of a fast foodie. Hey, Burger King, you not exempt. Really? Of all things? Why get rid of the Western Whopper? And again, why was the Cine Minis for a limited time only? Okay, by the looks of this, I guess they did start to look a little sad. Now, when it comes to Taco Bell, sometimes I understand why it's necessary for some of these experiments to go away, such as the ambitious Enchilito. But again, why did the caramel apple empanada have to get axed? I mean, you could keep the Mountain Dew Baja Blast pie though. Also, why is it the same color as Skeeter from Doug? I also don't miss any of that volcano era. That was, let's just say, come out the same color it went in. Also, somebody get KFC on the phone, cause they owe us an explanation for this.
Come on, son!
A chicken sandwich with a chicken was the bun of the sandwich? The Double Down for some reason felt targeted at a very specific demo. While we at it, what did the potato wedge do to deserve being replaced for no reason? But thanks for bringing them back, even though it's not the same. But their cardinal sin was discontinue those honey barbecue wings. You did one thing right, the food equivalent of trading Shay or Luca and getting nothing in return. Just shameful. And lastly, dear Pizza Hut, the buffet. That's it. That's the complaint. Sincerely, all of us. Let's address the real question I'm asking though. Why did it all have to change? And after a bit of journalistic due diligence, things seem to happen all at once. The standardization caused everything to get optimized, same taste, same process, less personality, then cost cutting forced all the ingredients to change. The portion shrank, which meant the quality dipped. Everybody started focusing on speed over the experience and the drive-thru became king. Lazy Americans. So in turn, nobody's interested in designing memories anymore. They're more interested in efficiency. I mean, even the soda took a hit. Every place had its own little twist. Now it's all calibrated. What once felt like, here's your refreshing beverage, now tastes like, here's your formula. I guess it's safe to say, capitalism then made its way to the drive-thru. Now when I go get fast food, I'll be hard-pressed to even run into a person. I'll pull up and talk to a speaker that's automated, and they don't even care about what I want. It just immediately starts blurting out promotions before I can even get a word in, like, "Welcome to Sal's. Can I get you to like, comment, and share?" When all I really want them to do was care. But hey, we all know life ain't fair. Peace.